Now, there is a chance, now only a chance here, we have to hold and turn around in this area in some way, shape, or form for bullishness to play out. If we look at this on the shorter time frames on the 15-minute and look at it from a perspective of Elliott wave analysis, you can see we are actually in a situation where we are now could potentially be heading to a fifth wave if we can turn around from here. If we hold 431, we may be able to get the fifth wave move. From Elliott wave perspective, this is just a retracement on wave 4, and we could potentially turn around here to push up to wave 5 at the 1618, which would give us a target here of about the 151.74 mark, which is what's going on, guys. Welcome back to Way Up Trading. Unbelievable day in the markets. We got the move that we expected in last night's video, wave 5 of the Elliott wave setup that we had predicted yesterday wound up playing out. Crazy move to the upside, a complete short squeeze, bears capitulating left and right.
Someone been smoking?
Got to move from about 433 all the way up to about just shy of about 437 today, with about a 1.10% move on the SPY. Couldn't be happier. Great opportunity. We had calls that we placed this morning within the trading group that went up as much as 400% at the early part of the day based off the technical analysis we pulled in yesterday's video. I'm going to go over the setup here, go over the play, take a look and see how things wound up working out and what I expect going forward into the next couple of days. We're going to do all of that and more right after this.
Mini yo-yo. No, I got the money for that.
Man horn?
Stock market.
All right, I got the SPY pulled up on the 15-minute chart here, and just basically going over the movement that we saw today. Yesterday, we actually predicted that this could be a possible reversal area off of the smooth moving average on the 15-minute chart with regular trading hours. You can see we got this bounce right on the smooth moving average this morning with a slight wick underneath it, underneath the 431 area that we talked about being a very strong level of support and a very important level of support for us to hold, or else things would have wound up to very bad to the downside. But things actually wound up holding very tightly here right above the smooth moving average before taking off and starting the fifth wave on this Elliott wave setup here that we predicted. Worked out beautifully, and we were able to capture a majority of the move to the upside, where we actually topped out just about at 437, just about 436.88. See, the first wave took place back in the beginning of May, second wave retracement down at the end of May into start of June, and we have a long expansive wave 3 up to about OPEX date, which was the peak, June 16th, that OPEX date that just recently passed. The peak off of the short squeeze move, a lot of shorts covering and things like that. Our full retracement back here bounced off of that smooth moving average we just mentioned a few minutes ago. And now we are beginning the wave 5 setup here with a couple different targets. 443 obviously would be the next target if we can stay above this area, above 436.17, and continue to make our push up and over the next several days. But the trend has now changed fully, and things have moved back into the positive direction here. Two locations, 443.84, possibly playing a double top. Hopefully not. We'll see how things go. But again, the 1618 is up here, and the 1618 range would be the top potentially at $451.66 off of this wave 5 pattern if we can go ahead and bust through the 443 area, which again we have tested once and has come into a situation where we have tested it and found support and resistance over it over several time frames throughout the entire schematic here, roughly about 6 different times trying to break this area. But now we have the reaccumulation style setup here, or even on the daily chart, which Elliott wave base would make this a fifth wave, which is a crazy 0.618 top at 492.80 cents if this thing can actually push through those levels we talked about. Very hard to believe. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to believe that until we actually see it. We can go ahead and bust through that 451 level I mentioned a few minutes ago. A couple of videos back, we made that 480 possibility for the top of the SPY before it comes back and retraces. Actually is not off the table yet. We still have a possibility of actually touching that, but we'll see how things play out in the next little bit. 443 is a major area to break. From there, 450 and so on. But those are areas we're going to need to see tested over time. The summer months are a little tough in order to kind of break those levels, but we'll see. As far as today's play is concerned, fantastic move off of that smooth moving average here. Entered into play, pretty much textbook. Wound up looking at this in detail earlier in the morning, noticing that we were starting to get some kind of bullishness early on in the day in pre-market. I did mention to the group, to the Way Up Trading group, that we were in a situation where things were actually looking a little indecisive, but But things started to rapidly change going into open when I noticed that we started to get a nice little influx of volume after being above the 5-minute 9 EMA and actually holding it, crossing above the 200 moving average and bumping our heads right here above the smooth moving average before coming back down and looking to reaccumulate for another push in order to break it. This was the area that we noticed that was the best opportunity to enter in our calls. We held this area. This is all live stream, by the way, earlier on. If you're not following the channel or do want to follow in some of the live streams that we do, we didn't mention this actual play over the live stream. Opportunity was there, so opportunities are all over the place, and we try to make sure that we hand them out to anyone that we can. Not all of them, a lot of them are left in the trading group, but every now and again we might get one or two that get sent out to the general public, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. So do consider watching some of those live streams. If you want the full gambit of deals that go through, make sure you consider following the Way Up Trading Group. The link is down in the description. However, as far as this is concerned, we were able to see that we did not get the cross back down on the 921, even though we broke it briefly. Volume came in. We got these wicks to the upside after they tried to force this thing back downward, but were unsuccessful. This generally told us that this was a bullish situation. We were pushed back above the 200 moving average, reclaimed the 9 EMA. Right here is where we entered in roughly about 10:15 a.m. And from there, it was pretty much game on. We stuck around, held on to these calls for 0 DTE roughly about 10:15. We broke through, got a little retracement, made sure we trimmed our contracts throughout several intervals of this move. I had my eyes watching here at retest, making sure we were holding the 9 EMA, as well as this 800 moving average, another main location that we needed to break in order for the move to continue. I went ahead and trimmed some of the position here as well. That held, continued on, and just rode the 9 EMA all the way up as just the way we teach it, it's the way we show it. Basically was able to make a return up to about 400% from this move all the way up here. Fantastic play. It was very simple, easy to catch on, even if you were just getting into trading for the first time and just needed a little bit of a guide idea. This was a great trade idea to take. Something that you don't see every day, a move like this in the SPY, about a percent to 1.5%. Very big move in the SPY, and liquidity is very high and available in and out, not really having to worry about your fills. You can't get much better in trading the SPY, and today was one of those opportunities that rarely comes up to take 0 DTE contracts and make the most out of the moves. Beautiful opportunity here. And what do I see going forward here? If you have been following the channel for a little while on the SPY reviews, if you remember, we talked about this a couple different times. We are now back within the golden zone. We briefly broke out of the golden zone and we're kind of forced back into it. We're going into closing, but we are still holding top portion of the golden zone, roughly about 435.74. If we reaccumulate tomorrow and start to push back up, I want to see us break somewhere around the 436.99 mark to continue into the bullish momentum that we have here on the wave 5 of this fifth wave of the 30-minute time frame we discussed a little earlier, and start making our way back towards our 443 test rather quickly. We have our 921 cross here on the 1 hour time frame, as well as looking to make the cross happen here on the 4 hour time frame. Once those cross, 436.99 is the area I want to see break. Now, we do have something to be paying attention to overall in the economy tomorrow. Jerome Powell gets on stage, does his thing.
Dump it.
We know the kind of reaction that can potentially happen with Jerome Powell on the stand or speaking or doing any kind of anything. Be careful, keep your head on the swivel. Things can change drastically to the upside or to the downside depending on how he speaks, how he looks, what he says. So just be mindful that we're going to wait for that to occur and then take the trades from there. Now Jay Powell is actually set to speak at 9:30 at market open a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So do pay attention. There's going to be a lot of volatility in the markets tomorrow morning. So pay attention and see how things move. Don't get too overzealous. Hopefully you were able to, if you were any contracts or any deals earlier on today, hopefully you were able to trim some of your position down to be on the safe side. But tomorrow's the day. We'll see how things work out. We'll see how things play out going forward. And most likely we'll be back here tomorrow live streaming on some extra trades, ideas, playing around, just talking about a few things. Feel free to join us on the way up. We're going to be here each and every day growing our portfolios together and making the outcome income for 2023. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Consider being a part of our trade group, Way Up Trading Group. The link is down in the description. We'd love to have you. Go over different trading ideas, charts, TA, some good traders in there. Give it a shot. Link is down in the description. Also follow me on Twitter. Hit me with any questions you have in the comment section below. I'll get back to those as soon as possible. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next video. Peace.